Hello, hello, and welcome back to my podcast, Pulling Back the Curtain with Vinny Ali. I'm your host, Vinny Ali. This is going to be a short video. Just wanting to reflect on a couple things that have been reoccurring in my mind. We had friend of the show, Nick Coletta, come in, and he actually shared with me some thoughts, some very interesting thoughts and quotes to kind of keep on my walls. For instance, I have one of James Baldwin who says, anyone who has ever struggled with poverty knows how extremely expensive it is to be poor. We have a Maya Angelou. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. An Epictetus. First tell yourself what kind of person you want to be, then do what you have to do. That one sinks home for me really hard. I want to be one of the greatest actors of all time. I've wanted to be that since I was very young. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Getting on stage, being in front of a camera, and now behind a microphone. It's tough because I seek to express the truth in a way that only actors can and writers can. They're not restrained by society's chains of, you must be PC, you must be this, you must be that. Oh, you can't say that, that's not very nice. The whole point of performance and art is to reflect on the current situation, what others are too afraid to see, in a safe environment, but also not safe environment. Because there's always room to be criticized and ostracized for thinking differently and thinking boldly. And to me, art is such a necessity of the human condition and such a reflection of our current, of the world itself. And I've been very fortunate to be bombarded with quotes by all these different people and by friends of the show. RT Herwig, if you are giving a chance to watch his episode on Pulling Back the Curtain of Vinny Ali, he expresses feelings. The whole point of his art is that it moves him into feelings and he follows them. And when he follows his feelings, that's where creativity sparks. He says to me that there is a spark in me, there's a light in all people that are into this. And that's why we've been able to retain our now friendship for over 8 years. And those that know me know that I get really, really excited and damn near passionate about things that I can't be told otherwise, that I can't and I shouldn't be able to do this thing that just lights up my life. And I feel so amazingly alive when I do it. It's who I am. I had a chance to be interviewed, and I was going to just wear, the 144 chosen few T-shirt to represent that I am this guy. But mom was like, "That's not you. It's a part of who you are, but you are much more than just the voice, the voice from the chosen few, the 144. You are Vincent Zulfikar Ali." She didn't say my full name. She never does. But you are Vinny, and Vinny is multifaceted. It comes back to what I always believed, that I am a hired gun in that respect. Come in, I do the job, I go home, and I pull different resources and elements from every experience, every project I'm a part of. Even doing this is helping me with addressing my technological fear. I fear technology because I feel like it cuts away from the humanity that is trying to capture. And it just kind of dilutes the true essence at times when we're expected to be both cameraman, sound guy, lighting guy, performer. All the things that take away from what is the whole point of being an actor, is to be an effective storyteller, a decipherer of truth in whatever capacity that we're in. RT was very, very bold in reminding us that we must follow our feelings because our feelings will lead us to someplace new. And I doom scroll a lot of times, trying to get those little fragments, those little nuggets that will lead to something more. The gentleman who made Eraserhead, I know, I should know, but I don't, was telling um, somebody that said, when it comes to filmmaking, when it comes to screenwriting, you have to just be open and aware of the scraps, the fragments that could lead to someplace different. And I'm a firm believer of all my experiences, all my jobs, all my opportunities have just been pulling and pulling into this pool that I can pull from. Or for me, as I used to say, a spaghetti pot. Because when you make spaghetti, the way to tell if it's ready, well, the fun way to know if it's ready, is to throw it at the wall. If it sticks, it's ready. If it's not, back in the pot. Now, I'm not saying to eat wall spaghetti. But what I'm saying is you have ideas, you throw it against the wall, see if it works for this project. And there's what works for this and what may not work for this. And if it doesn't work for this, then you can send it somewhere else. You can use it for another project. You can keep it in your back pocket when you need it. And by expressing and exposing myself to different opportunities of acting, I'm creating more opportunities for growth. And that's the most fun I have while doing this. I recently joined a group called Strawberry Hill Voiceover Samurais. And one of the things we do, now I'm a part of it, is we have a Dungeons and Dragons workshop every month where we create a character and we go from there. I decided a character named Sean Ronnery. He is a fighter that's on his last legs and has joined this group that is trying to find some werewolves and now apparently we're trying to take down a big snake god. And I am able to give the DM a bunch of information. There was a moment where we were captured by fairies. And with my understanding from reading the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, the fairies, the Fae, are very powerful, especially if you look them directly in the eye, because they can soul gaze you and they can pull all the information that you've experienced into their minds, and whatever is in their minds will be pulled into yours. And if you stare too long into the Fae's eyes, they gain power over you, and the things they've seen and they've experienced come into you. And let's just say the Fae have been living long enough that they are terrifying. As the story progressed, I remembered in Dresden Files that the Fae are deathly allergic to iron. So, my dagger that I kept on my right hip, the blade was stainless steel, but the hilt was of iron. And I used it to defeat the Fae, which was awesome. In open combat, Dungeons and Dragons, full on nerd, I know, but it's role-playing storytelling. It's collaborative storytelling. And it's wonderful from this imagination of mine. It keeps it active and interesting. In the course of the Fae helping the campaign, the group, we are instructed to give up something of great value to us. I was not willing to do that because I acquired a tool that would help me in my quest. The DM backed me into a corner and pushed me and was like, "You must give up this item, this MacGuffin." And I replied that you asked too much. I've given you what life I had left. I had a moment in the scene where I needed to prove my commitment to the group. So I said, "I will give the plant lady the most precious thing that I own," which is a silver locket I keep against my chest that I've worn since I could walk. And I decided to take part of a death lily away from the plant lady so that her burden would be less and I would prove that I am committed to this mission. I've given you the rest of my life, the last of my soul. You asked too much, Faye. You asked too much, and I give too much, and a deal is a deal. Why do you ask for more? It was a beautiful moment that me and the plant lady shared, and me and the DM shared. And the DM was very apologetic about it. I was like, no, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push me to the next level. That roller coaster, that needing to dig down deep and figure things out is what makes me come alive. One of the most exciting things to do as an actor and a writer to me is when you're painted into a corner and you have to fight your way out. You have to figure your way out. Do you bargain? Do you fight? Do you scratch? Do you leap? What do you do in that moment? It all comes down to my three questions. What do I want? What's in my way? How am I going to get it? And then just figuring it out. That's what makes this whole thing exciting and worth it. In my doom scrolling, this will all make sense, I promise. Steve Martin came on, and people ask him all the time, "Oh, hey Steve, what can I do to get an agent? This, that, and the other." And he gives the same answer. It's the most honest answer he can. He says, "Make yourself so good that they come to you. Be so good that people want to work with you. Put out so much volume that you can't go unnoticed." Yeah. We all know that word of mouth is the greatest form of marketing. So that's what we're going to keep doing, guys. We're going to keep pumping out content, whether it's here, whether it's from Backstage Magazine, or casting networks, or the 144. We're going to keep pumping out content and just be that hired gun that can just rotate and adjust to whatever opportunities come our way and just keep banging it out. Keep pounding that pavement, because it's the one thing that makes sense to me. It's why I get out of bed every day. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm so grateful that you guys are coming along for the ride. I once heard about Kai, Kai. I don't know anything about him because he's a streamer. He had one guy follow him, and that gave him the confidence to keep going, to keep trying. And Joe, friend of the show, you're my guy. I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm grateful for every time that you do and every time you share my podcast, because to know that one person feels that I'm one to watch makes it all worthwhile. Don't get me wrong, Mom is a big fan, but she's more a fan of the creative stuff, not just conversations I have with myself or the people that I interview. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys for sticking with me from the beginning. Thank you for following along with me as I go along. And I'm just grateful that I have this platform to just share my thoughts and to grow as an actor, as a writer, and as a man. It's very exciting. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys for listening to me, and follow the feelings that push you to the next level, that encourage you to get better. I've probably said this 1,000 times, but in Muay Thai, no run, no Muay Thai. You don't skip rope, you don't Muay Thai. You don't you don't shadow box, you don't Muay Thai. Those three basic elements are what improve you. And when I figured that out, I started to love running and skipping rope and shadow boxing. It just became just part of it and made it more enjoyable. And I do that with my art. Reading is running. It builds fuel in the tank. Skipping rope is text analysis. It's the nitty-gritty deciphering of everything, getting the footwork and the rhythm of the script. And shadowboxing is play. Getting to rehearse and play in the scenes and find the nuances. So when you finally get into the ring, onto the stage, into the booth, on set, you're ready to bring your A game. Well, that's all I have for now. So I'll end this like I always do. That which does not serve you does not deserve you. Be your own best friend, and you can always be greater than you were yesterday. My friend Courtney Atkinson, friend of the show, has told me time and time again, I am so happy and impressed with how far you've come. So we're going to keep focusing on moving forward, learning what we can and moving forward. If you're going to fail, fail beautifully. So long as you learn, you never truly fail. I'm Vinny Ali with Pulling Back the Curtain with Vinny Ali. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the booth.